Like every time she has to start like all twitchy and weird.
Are you sick of me yet?
Right now I am. Right. Wednesday is my be sick of Katie day, I think.
That is so cruel. Very cruel. I think that you are just being adversely affected by the weather right now.
I am. I hate this rain. This rain makes me so angry and depressed.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
It is. Well, and the thing is,
yesterday was gorgeous. It is just starting to hit. We are so late in the season. We are about 4 weeks late to hit 70 degrees and around this town, which is not normal. I've been here 6 years. I moved to the desert for a reason. I want 80, 90, 100, 100 degrees. Damn it.
Here's the thing.
I live here for a reason.
We probably sound like crybaby pee-pee pants talking about the weather living in Vegas, but I'm from Oregon. It rains like 150 days out of the year there. I didn't really have a problem with the rain when I lived there
because it was all you knew.
Because it was all, I didn't know another way, guys.
That's true. You didn't realize how magical it could be by living where it was sunny 300 plus days a year.
Anyway, I was fine with it because that's like what you expect. But I will say here, when you live here and it's sunny almost all the time, it's like that much more annoying when it does rain. But this year it's been like raining a lot. It's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
So
seriously, Sandy, Miss Sandy that comes from like San Diego. You don't even know what rain is. What are you talking about?
Okay, she's here in Vegas too, so she's experiencing it right now, along with us.
I know.
Anyway, hey everybody. Yeah, Sunny, it is my birthday soon. I have a few more weeks, about a month left before my life is over for good, because once you turn 40, that's it, right?
Yeah, she's pretty much up.
Right?
I'm putting her out to pasture.
Or I'm just joining you in the end of our lives.
In the pasture? You're joining me in the pasture?
Anyway, I'm actually really excited to turn 40. I was excited when I turned 30. I think it's going to be awesome being 40. And so I already have
you still have 6 weeks to go.
6 weeks of life?
Yes. It's not over yet.
I already thrifted an awesome, ridiculous vintage turning 40 t-shirt.
Yep.
So I'm pretty excited to be able to wear that on my 40th birthday. Yeah, see, Jesse says 40 is the new 20.
It is, to a certain degree, except everything starts to hurt once you hit 40.
40 is the new 39. I think that's pretty good. Anyway, guys.
I think 40 is the new 30. I think I would compromise with that one. I think that's true. Because I certainly don't think at 43, I'll be 44 this year. I certainly don't think that my mom looked or acted anything like I do when she was 44.
Oh, no.
I think my mom was half dead when she was in her 40s, and she's still alive. God bless her. But like, I just remember, like, my parents in their 30s, they never went anywhere. They were total homebodies.
Well, the Binkster, my sister, Binky, is in the chat, and she will back me up when I say that our parents were the same way. I remember as a kid just being like, man, they didn't have any friends. I mean, we went to church, like, we were involved in the church community, so, like, maybe, like, once a month or something, there'd be some sort of, like, having some people over for dinner.
Social church event, yeah.
Other than just going to church. But like otherwise, it was like there was nothing. They didn't do anything. They didn't. I think now
Mine didn't either. Mine didn't travel. They didn't like. And my parents had money when I was growing up. Yeah. I mean, weren't wealthy or anything like that, but they weren't limited by finances. Let's put it that way. So they could have traveled. They could have. I mean, they didn't do crap.
Honestly, my parents now, especially my dad, they do way more than they did when we were younger. Like, they have like their best friends that come in, like, hang out, with them. They've got, like, my dad's been doing, he's been doing lots of like traveling, and sometimes he can get my mom to go with him. He likes to go in an RV and go across the country, and he likes to do lots of long distance bike riding, which I've done a couple of trips like that with him. He didn't do that when we were younger. So,
Binky, you have a million kids. Don't get me wrong. When you have a bunch of children under the age of, say, 15 or 16, and you're a stay-at-home mom, or you're working full-time and you have a bunch of children, I don't expect people that have a bunch of children to have blasting social lives. That's a whole different thing. Your life is raising your children and going to soccer and being, driving everybody everywhere 100 times a week when your kids start getting into activities. Mm-hmm. That's what you're supposed to do during those years. That's your niche. My daughter's 26. She's been out of the house now for 8 years. So I when she was in her late teens is when I started doing stuff. I mean, I pretty much stayed home up until I worked full time, but I was home until she was maybe 12 or so. I really didn't go anywhere or do much because my job was working and being home and being a mom, so I didn't really start traveling or anything like that until she was about 12.
Sunny says we look way younger than 40.
I think it's the rim light.
I think it does. Well, I think it does help that I dress like a 12-year-old boy. So, you know, that's one thing. Yeah, Allison said when she turned 40, she booked a last-minute trip to Mexico on her own, and it was wonderful. Let me tell you, I've done some traveling on my own, and I have not.
I've traveled, but not on my own.
I love exploring new places by myself. It is really fun. Yes, the only way to celebrate a 40th birthday is by wearing an oversized sombrero, drinking tequila shots with complete strangers.
Dorothy, my kids are 30, 22, and 11. I've never left my house in 30 years. Dorothy, oh, you cracked me up.
All right,
that's funny.
Well, that's like our 10-minute intro to this show. But hey, it's Wednesday. What's Wednesday?
It's not her birthday yet. It's her birthday in 4 weeks. Don't jump on it too early. She's already going to turn all of April into her birthday month. I'm sure of it.
Oh yeah. It's all about me. My birthday's on April 19th, so I share a birthday with Kate Hudson. Luckily, I missed sharing my birthday with Hitler, so that's good.
That's good. That's
good. He's off by a day.
Yep. Does that mean that Dana shares her birthday with Hitler?
No, I think Hitler was the 20th, and isn't Dana the 18th?
Yes, she is.
Yes, I believe Hitler was the 20th. My birthday's also pretty much the beginning of the Revolutionary War. The shot heard around the world.
Nice.
Very exciting. Very
interesting.
Exciting. Also, lots of tragic things happened on my birthday, like Waco, Columbine shooting. Like lots of bad stuff went down. The Boston Marathon bombers were apprehended on my birthday. So.
Okay. You have a weird birthday date. Sheesh.
Sheesh. And Kate Hudson, actually, she was born on April 19th, 1979. So not only do we share the same birth date, we share the exact same birthday, same year, and everything. And relatively the same
Jesse,
name.
you didn't know when you were tuning in this was going to be a history lesson from Professor Katie.
Yeah. Okay, so today's Wednesday. Let's get back to the topic here. What is Wednesday?
It is. This is my intro.
I like throwing it to you, man.
Gee, thanks.
I'm throwing you an intro bone here, man.
Wednesday is our Boss Up and List Day, which is our all-day virtual listing party that we have in the Boss Facebook group, which is listed below. If you're not a member, you should be.
Yeah, you should be. Come on, guys. What are you waiting for, slackers?
We are a very positive, business-focused eBay group. We do talk about lots of other platforms as well, but we are eBay-centric, just like our show is eBay-centric.
It's where we sell.
It's what we know, and it's our, it's where our fortes lie. But we set our goals. We have a thread that we put up very early in the morning. We also have another friend, Jennifer, who is a member that puts up a thread at like the crack of ass at 3 a.m. or something on the East Coast.
She's 3 hours ahead of us, so that helps a lot. Because the problem is, because we're on the West Coast, basically, it's like, even if I put it up at 3 o'clock for other people, it's like I put it up at 10. And then if you're in another country, it's probably even like later. So
yeah, so whatever. she puts an early thread up, and then Katie will put up a thread. And basically we talk about what our goals are for the day. It's our one day that we do more specific accountability, and we talk about to each other like coworkers, and we try to encourage each other with set goals of, hey, I want to list 20 items today, or hey, I need to clear out this part of my inventory today, or I need to take photos all day today. Whatever. We do something every day very similar in our 2 or 2 post, but on Wednesdays we have a very specific post about, this is the one day, buckle down and buckle up and let's move and do some work.
Yeah. And so today with our show, our Boss Up and List show, we're going to talk about basically, I would say, like investing in your business. It's like we could talk about all the basics of like actually going out and sourcing and listing and shipping and stuff like that. But there's also other parts to having a business. And part of that is investing in yourself as a business owner and your development and things that you should be doing to improve and to grow as a business owner. And that's why today's topic is eBay Open, because they just opened registration for eBay Open, early registration for eBay Open. And so we want to talk about it because we know, some of you guys are definitely going. I think Allison's coming for the first time this year. She better be.
She has already reserved her room at Casa de Silverberg.
Yep. And hopefully, Lorna says she's taking a break today because she's been working really, really hard. So, sometimes you got to take a day off, and I'm glad you're here taking it with us. But anyway, some of you guys are going. Some of you may be on the fence. Some of you might think like, it's too expensive, or it's just something that you can't invest in right now. And we totally get that, but we're going to talk about
everybody has a budget.
Yeah, everybody has a budget.
You can either do it or you can't. And some people that are thinking maybe you can't or maybe you shouldn't, maybe you should.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we want to talk about.
And so we have been to eBay Open multiple years now. And so we're going to tell you our experience with it and why we think you should go if you can. We get it. If you can't afford it, like, we completely understand.
Right. If you don't have it in your budget and there's no way to get it in your budget, I completely understand. This is not like, hey, throw it on a credit card and hope you can pay it off.
Right.
I don't think that way. I do think it is something you should invest in if you're at all able to. And I also understand if you have small children or you have special needs children that you're taking care of, or you're dealing for elderly parents, or you're dealing things like that where you're not able to leave home. I completely understand that it's not feasible for everybody. But if you're at all able to do it and you can scrape it up and you can do this and invest in yourself and invest in your business, you should absolutely try to do it.
And it's well worth the cost. If you are able to swing it, it's well worth the cost, and you really do make it back. And we'll talk about like why it's worth the cost. And we're also going to talk about ways that you can bring your costs down. There are things you can do to make it cheaper, to make it more affordable. Not everybody, comes to Vegas for Open and just blows thousands of dollars. There are ways to trim down those costs, and there's also ways to think ahead and to try and save up for and
honestly,
costs.
we've been talking about it all year, so you should probably have been saving already.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So
since last year we've been talking about it.
So first of all, what are the details? What are the actual, just basic details?
So basic details, eBay Open is an eBay conference. It's a convention for eBay sellers and people that work at eBay. And the details are that it's in July. It's here in Las Vegas, and it's held from July 23rd to the 25th. Those are the basics. It's at Mandalay Bay, which is a large casino on the Strip that has huge convention center and meeting room access, like a lot of the casinos do.
It was there last year, and I really liked the space last year.
It was a nice
space.
It
was better.
So we've had it at Mandalay Bay, we've had it at MGM, and it's a great fun time. Let's see what else.
It's Tuesday to Thursday. I will say, people will say, oh, it used to be longer. It used to be Tuesday to Friday, and they shortened it by a day. Technically, yes, they shortened it by a day, but they did not shorten the content. The way it used to be.
They had a Friday morning session where it was like the closing session or 5-minute session. I don't know. It was really small, and it extended people having to have an extra day and here in town. It made their costs so much heavier.
Yeah.
It's so much more sense.
So it's technically a day shorter schedule-wise, but I think it's the same amount of content, and it makes a lot more sense this way.
There was no content on Friday, and I've got to tell you, the 2 years they had it on Fridays, I never even went on Friday, because Friday was the day after, the eBay Open party, the big closing party, which we'll talk about. But Friday mornings, they didn't really have anything that was worth it for me to go. The temperature in Vegas is really hot that time of the year. I'm gonna be honest. There are several reasons why they have it in Vegas. First of all, Vegas is a vacation destination. It is. There's tons of event places and spaces, such as the hotels. This is where the majority. This is like the biggest convention area in the country. First of all. Second of all, they have it here because there are easy access for flights. Flights are cheap. Flights in and out in July are cheap. Vegas is not a place people vacation in July because it is super hot. That being said, this is also the slowest time of the year for convention season in Vegas. So for eBay to put on the convention in Vegas, it is cheaper for them. Yeah. Because we're going to start talking about cost here in a minute. And what you need to understand is this convention that they put on costs them probably 10 times what they charge us. And I need you to understand.
I would guess it's got to be like $1 to $2 million.
My guess is it's somewhere between $1 and $2 million for the event, based on what I know hotel costs to be for conferences in general. That's something my ex actually did for a living, was book conferences and conventions all over the country. And I used to see how much that kind of stuff costs. And Vegas is one of the most expensive places to do it. We are a union city.
Yeah, and really, and Liz is right. It's like, it is super hot, but honestly, the majority of the time you're going to be inside there, and it's
you're actually going to want a sweater
cold.
Or a sweatshirt, because in order to regulate heat, the air conditioning is super cold. Think about if you ever worked in an office and you froze your butt off because they had the AC up so high. That's what it's like in every casino.
And then you can go out and you can just go swim in the pool, be out in the heat, but in the water.
Yeah,
and it's not going to be too shabby.
And if you really hate the heat, you don't have to go outside at all. You really don't. I mean. Okay, so the couple questions that I saw there before we get to some more thing is, do they still have daycare there? Naomi, I would double check with Mandalay Bay, but most major casinos have daycare available. I have no idea what the cost is. But it is licensed and insured and all that kind of stuff.
Lorna says that she's calling the Peacock room, which means that Allison is going to be in the Rock room.
All right.
So I think that's going to be all right. So anyway, so the cost right now, it's early bird registration, which ends on April 11th. So up until April 11th, it's going to be $350 to register. Now this is an increase. Last year it was $275 for early bird. If you aren't able to get registered before April 11th, it is going to go up to $499, so basically $500.
So definitely register early bird if you are able to.
If you
the savings is worth it.
Yeah. Now I know some people are going to say, like, why do that? First of all, people say, why do they charge it all? Why don't they just make it free to us sellers? With everything that we pay for, fees, all that stuff, paying for our stores, everything that we have to pay for, why don't they just make it free? Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, when you're putting on a conference like this, there has to be some sort of buy-in. And so
they need to have a head count.
Let's say they made it free. I can guarantee you that, like, 10,000 people would be like, oh, I'm going to go register for eBay Open. And then how many would actually show up? It's questionable. And then they could get around that by saying, okay, we're going to cap it. So then 3,000 people register and then half of them don't show up. And now that only,
and they've wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So there is a need for some sort of buy-in because they need to know, okay, these people are serious. They are coming. They're going to be coming to this event. And then the other thing is that it does offset the cost. It does not cover the cost. It guarantees you.
Not even close.
If let's say 2,000 people sign up, pay $350 a piece. I think that's like $700,000. That's maybe covering half of the cost, if that.
I don't even think it's covering half, to be honest with you, because of everything else that they do.
So
now the thing about conferences, if you've ever been to a business conference for any type of business conference, I've been to conferences for the mortgage industry, for finance, for burn associations, for all different types of things. I have never in my life attended a conference that cost less than $350. Never.
Well, you have that conference that you're going to be speaking at next month here it's a burn conference.
It's ABA. It's the American Burn Association. It's $799 for 3 days, and they do not feed you.
Yeah,
I'm not paying for it because I'm a speaker.
I wanted to go see her speak, and I don't think I mean, who knows? Maybe somehow I'll be able to go, but I don't think so because it's $800 to register.
Yeah, and I'm not having her pay $800 to walk in for me to do a 45-minute speaking panel. But
so the other thing about I don't think it even covers half of the cost to eBay. Now they do have sponsors, and they probably bring in about as much money because of what they have to pay in order, like when you're there, you'll see that there's this whole event hall where there's tons and tons of vendors. They all have to pay for their space there. So,
and they have to pay a lot, actually. I think we looked into it last year for somebody.
The lowest, I know last year, the lowest you could pay to be a sponsor was $8,500. So, and then they have like their main sponsor, and that sponsor pays like, I don't know, $75,000 to be the main sponsor. So, I think that maybe it comes close to covering their costs between the sponsors and the fees that we pay. And the other part about people saying like, oh, well, why don't they make it free? Let me ask you this. If you were an eBay seller and you could not come to eBay Open, let's say you can't go to eBay Open, how would you feel knowing that eBay is spending $1 million to put on a free 3-day thing for sellers that could attend? I think that you probably wouldn't be too happy about it. You'd be like, why am I paying fees so that they can like put on a big show for people in Vegas?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
I mean, it's definitely something they give back to us because it does cost them a lot to put this on. It is like them throwing a big party for us, and we pay a little bit to attend. That's how I look at it. Like I said, any other conference you go to, any other business conference related to any other industry, it's going to cost you a lot more than $350 for a 3-day conference, and you are going to receive a lot less.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about what you get for that $350 that you pay. What do you get out of it? I mean, for one thing, there's just the basics. You do get fed. So it's like let's say you're on a budget and you're worried about it, you could feasibly. Most people are gonna want to go out to do stuff, go to shows, blah blah blah, but you don't have to. And if you don't go do any of that stuff and you just kind of stay within the casino where the conference is, you're going to get fed. There's snacks, there's food, there's meals.
I will say last year the snacks were a little bit lacking. I'm hoping that they go a little bit better this year. They were a little bit light on the snacks and things like that. There's a lot, like Kara says, there's lots of swag. And yes, Naomi, you know, I have been around eBay for more than 20 years, or almost 20 years this year. So I'm aware of all the other open events. So actually they're called eBay Live and eBay on Location, those type of things. I didn't attend any of those because and even though I lived in Rhode Island, I didn't even go to the one in Boston because I wasn't a joiner and I had no interest in it at the time. I wish I had. But I know a lot of people that went, and they were a lot less expensive then, but we are also talking 15 years ago.
And that stuff's not sustainable. There's a reason why they don't do it that way anymore.
Yeah, they stopped doing it for all those years because they couldn't afford to anymore.
Yeah.
But the fact that they have brought this back, I'm really happy about it. You know, I've been every year that they've had it. And yes, I understand we live in Vegas, so it's easy for us to say we don't have the costs associated with other people that have to come in. We don't have to pay for a hotel room because we drive. We don't have to pay for airfare. Yeah, I get that. I completely understand that. But I will tell you, if they do move this to another location, I'm going to fly and I'm going to pay to go.
Mm-hmm. So what are the benefits of going to open? What do you think? Like, what do you like about open?
For me, it's not about the courses or the panels or anything like that. Although some of them are very informative. I do think they gear them to newer sellers and entry-level sellers, which is fine because a lot of them go and you can get an awful lot out of this. So personally, I think their panels are lacking. I'm hoping that they get a little bit better this year because so far the only one that I really enjoyed was Teresa's last year, not just because it was Teresa, but because it was very informative as to what I could do something in my business. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's the networking and being around your people is what I find is the absolute best part of it for me. And I actually, I've said this because I actually use that as my quote. They used my quote on the eBay Open page last year, which I didn't know they were going to do. But it's finding your people. It's finding your tribe and being around the people that lift you up, excite you about your business, make you excited for the future of your business, help you, you know, the access to all of the eBay people that you get to speak to, that you can talk to one-on-one about your issues. People are always like, oh, you know, what about this particular issue about my particular account? They will walk you through that room to find you the person in that department to help you with your account and that issue, no matter what it may be. I just think that it's something that is unprecedented in a company as large as eBay. You do not get this access in any company.
It's hard to quantify or monetize like the benefits from that perspective, but there's so much to be said for how energized you come out of this conference. You know, I've been to a lot of different types of conferences. I worked in the nonprofit field. I've gone to like Habitat for Humanity conferences that are all around a good cause. And let me tell you, I've never been like so excited and energized and just like, there's just something about eBay Open there's something about being around all these other sellers that are coming from the exact same experiences as you and share so much that you leave like so stoked about your business and you want to do more with it and build it up. And it's like that energy, it does turn into dollars because it will help you to build your business, build a better business, bring in more sales. And you never know where the relationships are going to go. So for instance, when we met at eBay Open, we're like a huge success story, right?
Yeah. We met at eBay Open in 2017.
So go to eBay Open, you could fall in love and you never know it, right?
You could meet the love of your life.
But also like some of my best friends, like, you know, Lorna, I met because of eBay, and getting to be at eBay Open with her helped build that relationship. Teresa, I met through eBay, and I met her for the first time at eBay Open. We do this show. We have this channel, I would say, because of eBay Open. I started this channel right after I won the Shine Award in 2017 at eBay Open. It wouldn't have happened without eBay Open. And it's like all these different relationships, all these different projects and these different things. And, you know, Teresa starting the boss group and us coming on as admins and being a part of that and being a part of the leadership in that. All of that is because of these experiences that we had through eBay Open, through meeting each other, through building relationships. And that to me is beyond priceless. Like,
right. And I've said this before. I've said this, you know, I've been on eBay Radio a couple of times, and you know, I actually wrote a blog about eBay Open for eBay for Business 2 years ago. And here's a couple of things that I'm going to say. I'm one of those people. I've been doing this business for almost 20 years. I've been on eBay. I believe actually this July is my 20-year anniversary on eBay, but like 15 years as a seller and 12 years full time. So what I have to say is I'm not a joiner. I've never been a joiner. I'm more of, I don't want to say I'm more of a leader than a follower, but
she's a loner, Dottie, a rebel.
But
you don't want to get mixed up with a guy like her. What's that from? Name that movie.
Johnny Depp.
No.
No. Anyway.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, I was thinking of something else. Anyway. So I'm not a joiner. I'm not that person. I was never somebody that liked Facebook groups or any of the groups and things like that. I never wanted to go to eBay Open. I was kind of guilted into going the first year they had it here. And I will say I was pretty reluctant. I was like, meh, whatever. I don't want to waste my money. And I don't care about these people. They're not helping me with my business. They don't know me. And that's how I felt. And I will say that I have made a complete 180 from that statement. I walked out of eBay Open the first year, and Dana can say it, can attest to it, because Dana went with me that first year, I believe. I walked out of that so completely changed and re-energized and feeling the love and loving the people and the people that I met, and I don't want to say it was life-changing, because it was the year I met Katie, but it was business changing for sure. It definitely changed my attitude and my viewpoint on it. I am so glad that I went. I met Lorna that first year, and I'm not a joiner, and that inspired me to start an eBay meetup group. It took me a long time to get there, but it inspired me to start a meetup group. I came home from that first eBay Open going, I want to do a meetup group. I want to meet like this all the time. I want to be around other sellers all the time. I love this.
Yeah, it is really, really fun. Now, as far as benefits coming from eBay, I will say, one of the big things that happens, there's a couple of things that happen. So they have like their little workshops, but they also have their big, every day they have like a few big like sessions in the main hall or whatever. And that's where a lot of big announcements are made. So it's kind of cool because you get to be there. And a lot of times you get to be the first to hear about like new upcoming things that are happening at eBay. And then on top of that, at least for the last 2 years, and I'm assuming it's going to be similar this year, they've given access to new programs. And so last year and the year before that, that was the concierge program, which is
so just for
kind of elite customer service. And I'm going to assume that probably they're going to do the same this year with concierge, because I know it is expanding. And so just because you attend, I mean, yes, you pay your $350. Usually there's something along those lines, and I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure that concierge will be that one again this year. And I will tell you, as a business owner, having access to concierge these last 2 years, I would have paid $350 a year just to have that, honestly. I mean, not to give any ideas to eBay about charging for stuff like that.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you, it is so worth it. And anybody in the chat who has concierge and has had an issue where they needed to call eBay customer service and has been able to access those customer service agents instead of the regular ones that's not concierge, I'm telling you, it's a huge difference. I am always like shocked when it takes more than 5 minutes to get through to somebody, and you always get, they have certain privileges and abilities to help you in ways that the regular customer service
It's like, customer service people have your entry level customer service, and there are certain levels and tiers to, the ability and that they have to make changes to your account or to handle things on their level. And concierge is like the people that know the business. They're all eBay sellers. They all know what you're talking about, and if they can't answer you, they're going to connect you to the person that can, and they stay on the phone until you're done with the conversation. And if they cannot settle it while you're on the phone, they give you a time for a call back, and they do. Like it's insane the level of customer service that you get compared to non-concierge. And I get that, yes, they should give it to everybody. Believe me.
I think they're working on it.
I don't think they have. eBay is such a big company; they don't have the ability.
It's a higher cost way of doing customer service, so I think it's something that they're working on and working toward. Enrique, getting concierge without going. All I know is that the program has continuously been expanding. So I don't know. I have no idea what the timeline is for making it available to people who don't attend.
Sunny, do we get to give sellers discounts on the entry fee? No, I wish. No, we don't have any ability for that. Does eBay ever have a free entrance giveaway? They do sometimes. I would follow eBay for Business and follow eBay for Business on Facebook and on Instagram and things like that. If they have contests, that's where they're going to have them, not through us. But if they have them, they'll definitely have them that way. They did last year, I believe. They had a contest, and somebody won.
So bottom line, I'm just going to say, as far as the cost goes, if you can't afford it, if you can swing it, it is absolutely worth it. It is helpful to your business. I know that they have not released yet what like all the workshops are going to be about, and part of that's because they haven't planned them yet. I mean, one of the things they like to do, I know when you go to register, they actually ask what you would be interested in seeing or what you would like to have there, and they're still putting that together and in the planning stages of it. So
based on those responses, I think they do try to create programs, you know, based on the number of responses they get on certain things.
Yeah. So if you do register, make sure that you are giving your input. Now, it doesn't mean that they're automatically going to like include something you ask for, but I'm assuming if it's like, oh, 50% of people are asking for this specific detail or thing to have happen.
Well, if you don't ask, you'll never get it. So
exactly. Another thing is, you know, these last couple of years, the whole YouTube, Instagram world of like influencers, which, you know, we're little baby versions of that, because we're babies compared to a lot of the bigger ones. But that whole world has kind of exploded, and so a lot of those people are going to be there as well. I know for sure, you know, obviously, you know, Casey Paris, Rockstar Flipper, he'll be there. I'm assuming Raleigh Roots will be there again this year. They will be. You know, Side Hustle Pros, Wade's Ventures will be there. You know, there's all these people.
Look, Bearded Picker, he'll be there. Bought my tickets yesterday.
Will be there. I'm sure Thrifty Santa will be there. You know, all of these people who you maybe you follow on social media. A lot of those guys are going to be there. You know, Chris Lynn, you know, Reseller Revolution, like all, you know, there's so many different people that are going to be there, and it's great because we all are there together. It's like we're all on the same level, and you get to interact with everybody.
Right, we're all sellers, and that, you know, I've made so many friends through eBay Open and eBay events in general that I absolutely love it. And then the other thing, Enrique brings up the Shine Awards. The Shine Award is something. If you go to the ebayopen.com, I believe it's ebayopen.com, there is information about Shine Awards. And the Shine Awards are not open for application yet, but that's something that Katie was one of the winners 2 years ago. She was an applicant that, you know, one of 2,000 for her category. This year, they're not having categories. So this year, the Shine Awards pretty much open for anybody.
Yeah, I think they're going to have 8 winners, and then they'll have 8 winners that are decided through the vote. I don't know exactly how it's going to be.
8 finalists, I think it is.
Well, I mean, the way it's worded on here, it says they're going to be, where does it say? I know it, I saw it in here somewhere. Anyway, they had said it was going to be 8 winners, and so I don't know how it's going to be structured this year. It's going to be somehow it's going to be different.
All I know is that if you have the ability to do so, you should absolutely apply. And as Enrique said, if you are chosen as one of the Shine finalists, not even the winners, because the winners are announced there. If you're chosen as a finalist, they do pay for you to go.
Yeah. Again, I'm not trying to be contrary here. I just don't know what the details are. And what they say in here is running a business is complex enough. So this year we've simplified entry by removing categories and giving you more chances to win. One of the 8 winners selected by the eBay community will earn the top prize and be named eBay Small Business of the Year. But then it says over here, Shine Award winners will be celebrated with a VIP trip to Las Vegas for eBay Open. So I don't know if it's going to be the same way where it was last year, where it was called finalists. There's going to be 8 winners, and those will be the ones that go.
Okay, whatever.
But they haven't released all the details.
You have to apply. You have to apply
to get. And 8 people are going to get to go to eBay Open for free, and that means your airfare, your hotel, your registration, all that will be free. So that is an option to at least try for that. So we'll talk about that more. It is super cool.
As soon as we have more information on the Shine Awards, we'll absolutely talk about it because I intend to apply. I think everybody should apply. If you are a small business seller on eBay, you should apply. You should apply for an award, whatever they had categories before. So I applied under certain categories before, but now it should be on anything.
Absolutely. So,
and it costs nothing to apply. That's right, Sandy said. It costs nothing to apply. And if you are chosen as one of the finalists, eBay does pay for you to be there, whether it's a finalist or a winner, however it's worded, they do pay for you to be there.
eBay loves their Shine people, and they treat us really, really well.
And yes, Katie is a winner. Katie applied 2 years ago, and she was chosen as one of the finalists, and she won for her category, which was the Rising Star category at the time. They no longer have that category. They didn't have it last year. It looks like they're not having categories at all this year. Yeah. So she did win, which she found out when she was in Vegas that she won that category. She's got a little.
I'll show I have my little trophy, my little thing right here.
Yep.
My Shine winner.
So she was chosen as one of the winners, and she didn't know anybody, and she hadn't known anyone in Vegas, and that was the year that we met when she came out here for that, and Yeah, she was one of the winners. And what you get for winning, the prizes are going to be different every year. But what you got is first of all, you get celebrated by eBay at eBay.
Yeah,
Open,
they're really cool about it. They really do give you like a VIP experience. It's pretty awesome.
They treat you like a queen or a king.
Okay, so you're still on the fence. You're still not sure. You're worried about the cost. Now, a lot of times people will say like, okay, expect you're going to spend like $1,500 to $2,000 to be able to attend open with all the things it costs. I know to stay at Mandalay Bay, it's $99 a night if you go through the link on eBay Open's website, plus your hotel or plus your resort fees and taxes. So it ends up being like $150 a night for a hotel room. Now, does that mean it's going to cost each of you $150 a night? Not necessarily. There's things that you can do to bring your costs down. One of them is find a buddy. I know a lot of people who go to open will go with a friend, a seller friend that they have, and they can share a
partner
room.
or spouse or what have you. Here's the thing: if you choose to come with your partner or your spouse, which is wonderful, they do have to pay for a full trip ticket as well if they're going to be with you at all the events. So you don't, if it's somebody that has nothing to do with your eBay business, maybe grab a friend instead. Yeah, that's all. That's the only reason why I suggest that, so you can get the most out of your money.
Yeah, so it's like, so basically if you meet up with another seller and share a hotel room, they usually have 2 beds. They're right there, you've cut your hotel costs in half. So that's a big deal. Another option, I know some people said that what's the hotel, the casino that's connected
Hooters.
to, no, not Hooters.
Oh.
The one that's connected to Mandalay Bay. That's like you don't even have to go outside to go through.
Oh, Excalibur.
I think it's whatever. So I think they're cheaper.
They're a lot cheaper.
Also, there's just other, and I know some people like Casey had said, I saw him comment, he was like, you're going to want to stay at the hotel. I get it. Some people are like,
it's definitely more convenient to stay at the hotel.
But you know what? We stay off site because we live here, and I'm telling you, it's not really that big of a deal to, we're pretty close to the area. It's not that big of a deal to get to come in the morning and then leave at night. You can Uber places.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yes, the Luxor is the one that's connected, and then the Excalibur is actually connected to the Luxor. And then the Delano is actually part of.
Oh, nice. Sherry said she got
Bay.
4 comp days at Luxor because she went last year. Very, very cool. So yeah,
Hooters is across the street, which is why a lot of people go and stay there. It's actually across the street and super cheap.
Yeah.
So that was why I was thinking that.
But my point is, there are other places that you can stay that you can bring your costs down, and it's not going to be so crazy inconvenient to have to like Uber or drive or whatever it is that you need to do. If it's going to bring down your cost substantially, then it's worth doing.
Yeah.
I know some people stayed, there was somebody who said they stayed at a place over, the Fremont area. So there's cheaper ways to do it. You can still go out with everybody and still have all the fun in the world with everybody and do everything that you want to do. Also, if you're staying off site and you're going to be driving every day to Mandalay Bay, we'll tell you a little hot tip, a little trick,
a little local insider tip.
So Mandalay Bay has a whole shopping center there. It's called the Shops at Mandalay, I think is what it's called. The Shops at Mandalay have their own parking area, and it has valet, and the valet and parking is free. So like when we went last year, we would park at the Shops at Mandalay. We wouldn't pay anything to park all day long, and then when we came to get our car, we tip the valet a few bucks.
Yeah, you tip $2, $3, $5 tops. That's what's expected.
And I'll tell you what, the parking there is very, like, you walk through the shops to get through the casino to go to where the conference is. It wasn't very far. It was like maybe 7 to 10 minute walk. It was actually
Jerry said it worked well. Jerry did it too. It's cheaper, and it does cost money to park. Not if you have a car there, even if you're staying at the hotel. So keep that in mind too. A lot of times it's not necessary to have a car. If you're flying in, I don't suggest getting a car unless you're driving way off site to go sightseeing, because you're going to meet so many people through the groups and things like that do have cars to do little outsourcings, field trips if you'd like. But also Uber is super cheap. Uber and Lyft are super cheap and safe around here. It's cheaper than renting a car or parking. Yeah, because it does cost to park anywhere on the strip.
Yeah. So there's lots of ways to bring your costs down. So Lorna says that she stayed across the MGM hotel for $35 a night her second year. You're never in your room. So it's true. There are a lot of ways for you to bring those costs down. You just got to think about it. The next thing I wanted to talk about is like, okay, let's say you decide like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend my $350, get registered, and start saving for money for when I actually have to go, blah, blah, blah. There are ways. What do you want to talk about?
The other thing we didn't talk about, it has been mentioned a couple times in the chat, but it's true. If you go to Mandalay Bay, there is a way to sign up for what's called M Life. That is their card. There is a credit card that you can get. You don't even have to use it. Credit card that gets you free parking and gets you discounted rates that might be better than the hotel rate that eBay has provided for you. But there's also the players card, and the players card, just signing up for the players card can sometimes get you lower rates. But what the deal is if you get the players card and you play a little bit on the slot machines while you're here, while you're at the casino, next year, if they happen to have it in the same location, you are guaranteed to get a much lower rate, because what happens is they have your information on file and you get specials all the time if you use players cards.
So Laura, the early registration ends on April 11th. That's when it goes from $350 to $500. I don't know when they close registration completely.
They're going to end up closing it because it sells out. It'll end up selling out. So that's the other thing too. There are a limited number of attendees allowed. So I would absolutely, register as soon as possible, because you don't want to wait till the last minute. Even if you're holding out and you're going to pay that $500, you think, you may not get a ticket.
Okay, so let's get into the next part of it. Is I wanted to say, okay, so let's say you decide that you're going to go, but you're a little worried about money and stuff. Listen, start saving your money now. We're still, what, 5 months out, 4 months out? I don't know. I'm not mathing so good in my head right now. But we still have,
Sunny, you're not going to be able to buy a ticket at the door. No, registration closes long before the actual conference. And it will sell out. More than likely, it will sell out.
Pretty much. Laura, you can procrastinate until the 11th of April so that you don't have to pay an extra $150. How about that? How about that now? Okay. Anyway, so let's talk about saving money. And I'm glad that Lorna is here with us, because I was going to bring up something that I use. I don't use it for open, but I think it could be something that could help a lot of you guys if maybe you have a hard time saving money, or it's just, you're worried about where you're going to get the money to do this. And so you can obviously you could put a jar aside and put a little money in it every day or every week, or put it in your bank account and save it up before the event. But one thing I use, and I got you on board with it, and we actually did it because of Lorna, is Acorns. So Acorns is an app. It's on your phone, but I think you can also sign up for it on the actual website.
You attach it to your bank account or to a credit card or to your PayPal card.
So, there's a million different ways that
it's just a rounding up device.
Yes, there's a million. I'm going to explain it. There's a million different ways that you can save money. This is just one that's super convenient, especially if you're somebody that has a harder time saving money. And basically what you do is you attach it to your bank account or your credit card or whatever. And what it does is it rounds up. So let's say you go somewhere and you spend $22.55. And you use your card. What it's going to do is it's going to take that 45 cents to round it up to $23, and it's going to put that into your little savings account. And it does that every time you do any kind of transaction. So it's going to round up all purchases, and it's basically like it's taking money and putting it into savings, and you don't even notice that it's gone, because you're just not even going to think about it. And then you can also set it up to put aside, like, $10 a week, $15 a week. $30 a month, however you want to do it, whatever will work for you. And it's just a way of like mindlessly saving money, putting money aside.
Right.
And I know Lorna, she uses it a lot for trips. I know that that's how she uses it. Some people use it for long-term savings. Some people use it for short-term. And I know Lorna will use that to go on trips, and she'll save up her money and then she'll cash it out and go on a trip somewhere.
The other thing too is they actually feed you quite a bit there. So you want to obviously have some money for spending money while you're there, for drinks and food and things like that. But here's the thing. You come in on Tuesday. Tuesday is registration day. Tuesday, there is going to be a welcome reception, which tends to have lots of food. We could technically make that your dinner if you needed to. And that's Tuesday evening. Wednesday, you're going to get breakfast, lunch, and probably some other, and lots of snacks. So you may have dinner Wednesday night.
And beer and whatnot.
And there's open bar for a couple of sessions too. Let's see, Thursday, breakfast, lunch, and dinner is provided at the party on Thursday, which is probably going to be at the Brooklyn Bowl again. That has not been announced though. And there's tons of food there. So really, you can get away with not really needing to buy food or beverages very much at all if you're really there just for the event itself. Do keep in mind that food and water and cocktails and things like that are pricier because Vegas is a vacation situation.
But you can go buy stuff and then like just have, I mean, there's ways to get cheaper booze and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But real quick, so Sherry says she does Acorn. She has it hooked up to her PayPal and has recurring weekly deposits.
Me too.
Lorna says she has it set to take $5 every Friday and $10 a month as well. So it's really helpful. I know I used it when last summer when all the glitches were happening and like money was not coming in. I actually cashed some of it out. So I kind of use it more as like an emergency funding. But I think it's great for saving for these kinds of things. And I even put my little referral code down below. So if you want to use it, if you sign up using my referral code, I actually get $5, but you also get $5. They start you out with a new account with $5. I have it set up on my PayPal card. So anytime I'm going out and I'm doing sourcing, it automatically takes from that. And I also have it set up to my regular bank card. And right now I have it on 2 times roundups because you can multiply your roundups. So let's say it's 22 cents, it'll be 44 cents goes in. I love it because it's like I don't even think about it, and then it's like, oh wow, look at all this money I've been saving up. So
yeah,
anyway, try it out.
Enrique, what time is dinner at Casa Zilberberg? Yeah, we thought about doing last year, a little bit of a get together. Here's the thing: the week that we're there, and I'm not trying to sound like a whiner, but the week before eBay Open, we are gone at the camp that I go to, the Burn Camp, where we go and volunteer. And Katie's coming with me this year. So for 9 days prior to Open, we're actually going to be gone in Washington, and we will be at Camp Counselors. And it is an absolutely exhausting period of time. So we come back and we have 1 day. We come back on Sunday. We have Monday to do all of the laundry, ship all of our items out for the 10 days prior, get the house ready for guests coming in, and that's it.
Yeah.
So we tend to not make any plans in advance for eBay Open week because I will tell you, last year, Thursday's eBay Open party, we were done by 8 o'clock.
Well, and also there's a lot of impromptu stuff that happens. So I like to not have too much stuff scheduled for like the evenings because you never know when you're going to be like, hey, let's go do this, or hey, let's go do that. Or somebody from eBay says, hey, do you want to come to this special dinner? It's like that kind of stuff does happen. So we've been talking. We talked with Teresa. Actually, we absolutely are going to do some type of boss gathering. That may be, one of the opening nights. That might be. We're not going to do anything off site. It'll definitely be held somewhere at Mandalay Bay. We'll let you guys know in advance. But we'll be doing some type of gathering for sure. Yeah. So Patricia Herbert says, she said Charity reserved her spot and a room with 2 queens if someone wants to share. So listen, guys, if you're
she's a first timer and could use a friend to show her the ropes. So that's another one.
So guys, if you're not in the Boss Facebook group, you should be. And if you're in the Boss Facebook group and you're going to Open, we also have another little Facebook group that's just for boss people that are going to eBay Open this year. And it's a really good way for stuff like that, where if you need somebody
to carpool with, if you're coming from a state pretty close, that kind of stuff. And Sherry, we may do the Skyfall Lounge thing again. I think that's a great idea.
Alexis, we'll still go to Savers at some point.
I'm pretty sure we went on Tuesday.
Don't you worry. We'll figure it out.
Last year. Let's see. Deborah, by PayPal card, do you mean whatever card you have a backup payment, or does PayPal offer a credit card? Well, there's 2 things. They do offer a credit card, but we mean our PayPal debit card.
Yeah, PayPal. If you have a PayPal card, if you have a PayPal account, you should order a debit card, because then you can use that to buy. It makes it a lot easier to like.
You also get your cash back when you use the PayPal debit card. So your PayPal debit card is a great way to purchase inventory and things like that. You use it to sign up for Pirate Ship and get your shipping right out of PayPal, and you get your cash back at the same time. I
pay my eBay fees early using my PayPal card, because I get cash back for everything.
Yep. Same here.
All right. So Teresa just put the link in the chat for the eBay, the boss group. Oh wait, which is that which group did you just share, Teresa? Is that for?
That's the eBay Open one. It says going to eBay Open Facebook group.
I know, but is that the boss one, or is that the other one?
I don't know. Doesn't
matter. I'm checking. It does matter. Yeah,
I think it's open to everybody.
No, this is a different group. Anyway, or no, that is our group.
How many groups do we need?
We need 500 of them.
Good gravy.
No, we want the one that's for boss, so that we know, like, it makes it easier to like network and kind of put it together. Anyway. Especially for people, you see people who are already talking about like, oh, I have anxiety, which let me tell you guys, a lot of people are really nervous about this kind of thing. And if you're coming by yourself and maybe you haven't met any of us in person yet, it seems super scary. So I totally get that. So I think that having like a group that's just for this group that's going to open, it makes it easier for people to feel connected and kind of feel like they know people. But let me tell you, once you are there, what you don't realize now, if you haven't experienced this yet, once you are there, it's like when you meet people that you've talked to online, it's like you're seeing friends that you've known forever.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like you're meeting a stranger. Teresa calls us stranger friends. And it's hard to describe, but when you meet somebody and you have this common connection around what you do for a living, it's so easy to like converse. You don't have those awkward moments where you're like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. It's like you have so much in common without even knowing each other.
You immediately can go and sit with anybody at lunch, a table full of people that don't really know each other either, by the way. You can go sit with a table full of people and be like, hey, and everybody says hi. Your first opening line is, so what do you sell?
Yeah.
Everybody loves talking about themselves, and that is the best single sentence opener. Or where are you from?
Oh, one witch lady from Canada. She says, okay, I had huge anxiety going on my own last year. I had online friends meet me for the before gathering at Skyfall, and then it was okay. It will be okay. It's like meeting family. Yeah, really, guys. Everybody, a lot of people really have, especially, when it comes to something like selling online. I think a lot of people do this kind of work because maybe they have a harder time like out,
Mm-hmm.
it's easier for them to be at home and do their own thing and work on their own. And maybe like they have social anxiety issues and stuff like that. And so I think it's a really, really common thing. And I don't think people realize like how many other sellers that come to open experience the exact same thing. But I'm telling you, like, doing something what one witch lady said, like, make it a point to be like, oh, hey, let's all meet up. Like if you're in the boss eBay open Facebook group, we can have a thread where it's like, hey guys, let's all make sure we meet up at this time at this place.
Exactly.
So we just have that like first little like,
get it out of the way.
Get it out of your system. Feel okay.
The minute you meet the first couple of people, your anxiety will be gone. I promise you that. And listen, look at even Dana there. Now I can tell you, my love Dana, my friend Dana, she hates people, and she'll be the first person to tell you she hates people, and she's not a joiner, and she's not a rah eBay sis boom bah kind of person either. Definitely even more so than me. And I brought her my first year that I went. I paid for her to go, and she loved it. I think it was second year actually. She loved it. I brought her as my assistant, and she loved it, and she had a great time. And she's laughing, but it's true. Tell him, Dana, you had a great time. And she was not even a seller yet. That inspired her to become a seller. She came as my assistant because I knew that there were some courses that I thought she could get some tips on as far as photography and listing and things like that.
Yeah. So, Patricia, ideally you want to stay over until Friday because Thursday night is the big party. So if you want to participate, I mean, maybe you don't care about a party, but if you want to participate in the big party, I'm assuming it's going to be in the same place this year as it is every year. They rent out the whole Brooklyn Bowl, which is this giant facility that has like bowling alleys and multiple bars, and it's just so much fun. And they're, it's all catered.
Now you could certainly fly out that night after and do like a red eye or something if you wanted to, but you should probably stay.
It would be a pain. So, if you're going to have met like so many people, you're going to want to hang out afterwards. Like we said, we were super tired by the end of that. But most people, especially people who are traveling out of town,
most people love the party.
They want that big party, and it is really fun. There's a live band, there's food, there's booze, there's stuff to do, there's people to hang out with. You can bowl. It's really, really fun. Again, I don't know for sure.
And yes, there is one witch lady, Shelly Robbins. There is a great Canadian team. There is a great Canadian Facebook group called Craft. It's Canadian resellers, something. Somebody fill me in because I'm not Googling right now. But it's run by
a whole bunch of awesome Canadians.
Craig Dawson and his husband Rick. They run the group. They're fantastic. Their store is Two Dogs Digs. They're super funny and really sweet. And they run a Canadians focused eBay Facebook group, and they're going to be at eBay Open, and a lot of Canadian sellers are going to be here. So I'm not sure what Craft stands for exactly though. So if you could tell me what Canadian resellers and fantastic for
there you go.
Thank you. I knew it was Canadian resellers something. I couldn't think of all the words.
We love our Canadian reseller friends.
So there are quite a few people that come from Canada, and there are people that come from other countries as well. I don't know very many that come outside of Canada, but The absolute best part is the networking. There are definitely great sessions and courses to take, and they're usually done at least 2 to 3 times within that 3-day period. So you get a chance to go to all of the ones you want to go to. We'll get schedules in advance. We'll talk about them in each of the groups. But the best part is networking, meeting other like-minded sellers, making friends, meeting, eBay employees that can help you in your business and help you in your journey. It's so great to be able to have a business card or a phone number or an email from somebody in an eBay department that can help you if you have an issue. And that's what you get when you go to eBay Open. You also can sign up and get in-depth store reviews that will definitely help you. It's just a 15-minute review, but I will tell you, I sat down and did mine for the first time last year. And I remember thinking, I don't need help with this. I know what I'm doing, right? But even I came in with a few tips. And so I think that there's a lot to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, networking definitely. I mean, seriously, guys, this channel, the Boss Facebook group only exists because of networking. It only exists because of networking and meeting other sellers and having ideas and wanting to grow and wanting to help other people. Like, it never would have happened if Teresa and myself and Vicky and other people didn't want to meet each other and get together at gatherings like this. And here you guys all are hanging out and watching us. And this conversation is only happening because of networking, because of Open. So it's
I know we sound like eBay cheerleaders very often, but the reality is that I love eBay. I love eBay. Katie loves eBay. Teresa loves eBay. Yes, that it has problems. Yes, the platform has issues. Yes, nothing is 100% perfect all of the time. But the reality is eBay allows me to pay my bills and make a living doing something that I love, and being able to be around people that also do the same thing, that understand what I do, that also love what they do. It's something that is energizing in a way that I've never found in any other industry, in any other type of work that I've done, and any other type of convention, even with like-minded people.
I wish eBay was sponsoring the show.
Right? I can only compare this to the yearly convention that I go to with my burn survivor family.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because it's the same type of environment where everybody loves what they do and loves why they're there, and it's just it's a family. So I really love that.
Well, and the thing is, like we're saying, it's all about the networking. And so in order for eBay Open to be the very best experience as possible, we need as many of you guys to be there to hang out with us, because that's what's going to make it.
That's what makes it
fun. That's what makes it productive. That's what makes it worthwhile. And so the more of us that are there, the more of you guys that are there, the better. And like I said, when you do register, make sure you do give your suggestions, your requests for what you would like to see happen there. I really hope that this year they finally listen to us and make it a lot more seller driven. I would like to see a lot more workshops and panels that are run and focused on other sellers talking about things, and it's more conversation based. I would like to see a lot more interaction. But ultimately, it is all about the networking. It is all about what we learn from each other.
Yeah, and eBay should be sponsoring this. Nope, still paying for my ticket. Sorry. I'm still paying just like all of you.
Yeah, for sure. So somebody was asking about ASD. It's a big trade show. So if you sell particularly if you sell on Amazon,
it's a free trade show.
Yeah, it's free for people who attend.
You just have to sign up for it.
Yeah, if you sell on Amazon, you can also sell on eBay to participate. It's basically meeting up with wholesalers and different companies. If you're thinking about doing private labeling, if you're looking for wholesalers, all that kind of stuff, it's a really good way to make connections and stuff like that. If you're a thrifter, you're probably not going to care about ASD, but it happens a couple times a year, and one of the times is right after Open. What is happening over there? And why?
I was cleaning my phone. I was just talking. Yes, Allison says, I'll sponsor your show. I'll pay you in handmade leather fringe vests. If anybody saw my
so it looks like
Instagram
I don't think I saw Alexa said that she wasn't planning on going, but now she is.
Alexis, don't even tell me you weren't planning on going. We need to hang out with Mom again.
Yeah, whatever.
I loved your mom.
You better come. Anyway, so guys, seriously, we just want you guys to come hang out with us. So we're not doing this for eBay. We're doing this for us.
And I saw somebody say, I just want to make sure they get to meet us. Yeah, of course you can meet. I mean, we're nobodies. We're just there as other sellers. So please.
The thing is, everybody is just there hanging out. It doesn't matter who it is. Like if you're super into Rally Roots, if you're super into Rockstar Flipper, if you're super into Side Hustle Pros, I don't know if Steve Rakin's coming this year or not, but all these people who have really big followings, everybody's on a level playing field. Everybody's just hanging out. It's not like you go to like Comic-Con. It's like, oh, I got to pay my money to go stand in line for 5 hours so I can get somebody to sign my thing and get a picture with them. No, we're all hanging out together. It's all of us. Right. It's all of the eBay employees, even like the eBay executives. Everybody's just hanging out together, and you can talk to anybody and hang out with anybody, including us and including anybody else that's got a way bigger following than we will ever have probably. So
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Do we have groupies?
No.
I mean, we have people that follow us. I don't even call it groupies, but yeah, we don't know who the speakers are this year, Sandy. They haven't even gotten into the planning phases of as far.
We don't know who any of the speakers are yet.
Yeah,
Teresa may be a speaker. Yeah. I may be a speaker. Katie may be a speaker. Who the heck knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
None of us could be speakers.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring like a little step ladder thing with me, and I'm just gonna and I'm probably gonna have some sort of megaphone,
and she's gonna make herself a speaker.
And I'm just gonna like wherever I
really
stand.
You think you need a megaphone?
Okay, I'll just project my voice, and I'm just gonna like set up shop wherever and be like, listen guys, I got something important to say.
You think she doesn't shut up now? I will say that we went home from the very first meeting where we had at the Skyfall Lounge last year. It was kind of like the meet and greet we did, I believe, on the Monday night. I wasn't able to talk by the time we got home.
Yeah.
We talked to so many people, and it was so much fun.
Really fun.
It was a lot of fun. And yes, eBay, I don't know if eBay is going to have it this year, but you do have your little lanyard with your name tag and all that kind of stuff on it. So lots of people bring pins, and there's lots of pin trading. I know that Katie and I both have pins. Yep. And we hand out pins to people and collect pins from other people that have them. So it's kind of fun.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes, Brenda will use her teacher voice. Everybody can hear Brenda from across the room.
Pretty much. All right, guys. It is afternoon now. We're going to cut this show short. Or I guess we're trying to keep this one at an hour. But we really appreciate you guys coming again.
We're going to talk about Open a lot more leading up to it. I promise you that.
It's just a really good experience.
Jump on it. We want you to jump on it and get into that early registration if you're able to, because it's so much fun.
Yeah, it is really a lot of fun. So if you can join us, you definitely should. In either way, you should be in the Boss Facebook group. Come hang out with us. Be a part of the Boss Up and List listing challenge that we do every Wednesday. Come and hang out with us. Check out, I just put up a new video yesterday. We started like a new little mini series. We realized that all
5 to 10 minutes.
We realized that all of our shows are like an hour and a half long, and so we're trying to put out some content out there that's a little bit more quickly digestible. And so we're doing these little 5 to 10 minute segments every week called You Tell Us, and it's really all about like we'll talk about whatever topic that is on our minds for the week, whether it's something that just came out, something people are freaking out about, something like, basic, like shipping, whatever. We'll just do a quick, like impromptu, here's our take on it, or here's what we do, or here's what we think about it. And then ask you guys to jump in and tell us what you think.
Tell us what your process is like.
Tell us. You tell us. And because we really just want to hear what you guys have to say. So go check that out. I put it up yesterday. And we're going to keep doing that going forward. And so thank you guys. And we're going to get back to work. And we appreciate you. We appreciate you guys. We do.
Oh, keeping it beachy, like my filthy mermaid hat. This is from a bar in St. John, the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you so much again. And we will see you on Friday.
See ya. Bye.